Hey folks, it's Kevin. In this video, we're talking about what methods I use to help home buyers get their offers accepted. It's no mystery that in today's real estate market, it's very competitive for buyers who are submitting offers on homes, which can lead to home buyers making poor financial decisions and overextending themselves or electing not to purchase a home altogether. When you're competing with 10 or 20 other families on a property, it can be hard to stand out amongst the group. So let's talk about some things that you can do to shine brighter. The first step is building strong rapport with the agent representing the seller. This way you can attempt to uncover any necessary information in regards to the other family's offers. As you can imagine, when an agent's representing a seller and they have 20 plus offers on that specific property, not considering the other homes that they're selling or the other families that they're assisting, they can be inundated with calls and text messages, and so it's important that you do the best to cut through that noise and get their attention early. If the agent representing the seller isn't answering their phone, don't worry. It's likely that they're not answering phone calls from the other 20 agents who are submitting offers as well. What I recommend is having your agent put together a video directed towards the agent representing the seller, sending it to them via text message, and simply asking what they should include in your offer to make it more accommodating and attractive to the sellers. Persistence is important, but remember, there's a fine line between great communication and harassment, so just remember to always be respectful. Once they're connected, that agent's going to share things such as price, timeline, contingency timelines, what appliances are staying in the home, and so on to make that offer more accommodating and more attractive. This way you guys can begin formulating your offer and putting together one that you know is going to be competing with the rest. The next thing that you'll want to do is put together proof of your ability to perform. What you can do is you can provide a recent bank statement or any retirement accounts, investment accounts, wherever the assets are coming from that you're going to be using for this transaction. In addition, the lender that you're working with can provide a pre-approval letter showing that you are in fact pre-approved, that you've given all the necessary documentation that's required, and also provided an automated underwriting system, which just basically means that they've put all of the information in their computer and they had an automated system that determined that you will in fact get approved as long as your income, credit, and debt remain consistent. And that way, when the sellers receive that offer, they know that you are in fact ready, willing, and able, and they're confident in your ability to perform. The things that I mentioned are the basics, and 95% of home buyers and agents are doing those things in today's market. So let's talk about how you can get a leg up. One of the more underrated things that I think a buyer's agent can do in today's market is convey to the listing agent what responsibilities are going to alleviate them of during the escrow process. One of which is going to be during the inspection period. And maybe you convey to them that you have a plan of action if any repairs do come up during the escrow process. Maybe that means that you have contractors that you can call on that can do the work and get paid through escrow, so that way the sellers aren't responsible for fronting those costs without any guarantee of that escrow closing, or that you have a budget that you've already decided on with that buyer, so that way you don't have to go and ask the sellers for those funds at closing. The second component to this is the appraisal. By meeting the appraiser in person and providing them comparable sales, opening doors, and just being nice, it's going to increase the likelihood of the value coming in at the agreed upon purchase price and ultimately guaranteeing that the sellers are going to get the amount of money at closing that they initially thought they would. Look, most agents know what problems are going to come up during an escrow process if they're experienced. And most experienced agents have the inventory. So it's not a surprise when you run into an experienced agent who's on the other side of the transaction representing the seller, which is why it's so important that you bring up these issues prior to submitting the offer. So that way, number one, they know that you're a competent agent, and number two, they can trust in your ability to perform throughout that escrow process. This way, when they go to present that offer to the sellers, not only do you know that they're presenting it, but now you know that you have their influence and they're going to do their best to get your offer either countered or accepted. The last step in this offer process is to have your agent put together a letter written to the sellers, including all of the things that they talked about prior to writing the offer with the other agent, how they're going to alleviate them during the escrow process, and what responsibilities they're going to take on. That way, when that agent and the sellers are reviewing those offers together, they're reaffirming them of that influence. The last step to this is to put together an item of value or a gift. So as you're viewing the home, be cognizant of things that you can connect to. And once you know what they like or what their interests are, you can get them a small token of value or a gift. Be careful with this. It can be misconstrued as a bribe sometimes. However, I think if you present it in the right manner, it'll be appreciated by the sellers and ultimately give you a leg up. At the end of the day, it all boils down to communication. The sellers want to know that you're a ready, willing, and able buyer, and that you're working with a competent agent who's willing to go above and beyond during the escrow process should any obstacles arise. This is a financial transaction, but as humans, we're emotional beings. So it's important that you connect on an emotional level and show the sellers that you're going to take care of their former home. With that being said, I hope that you found value in this video. If you did, please hit the like button, send it to a friend or a family member that you think can benefit from it. And lastly, please subscribe to my channel and stay updated with any future videos. I'll see you in the next one.